How do you practice vegetarianism if your parents don't, if you're a kid and your parents don't, or if you're married to someone who doesn't?
Please watch on for the spiritual insights of Rabbi Rabbi Shapiro about the new era where all religions find common basics. Greetings, divine viewers. I'm Raquel Alexander from Brooklyn, New York, United States of America. The people in our country are most happy with the helpful assistance that you provide towards our worldly spiritual awakening. In today's program, we're delighted to meet the respectful Rabbi Rabbi Shapiro, who graciously gave of his time and spiritual wisdom to inspire and uplift us. Rabbi Rabbi Shapiro is the director of the One River Foundation, an educational not-for-profit that promotes the perennial wisdom at the mystic heart of the world's religions. An author of 36 books, Rabbi Rami had a congregation in Florida in the USA for 20 years, and now lectures all over the world. The One River Foundation, headed by Rabbi Rami Shapiro, promotes what they term perennial wisdom. The organization summarizes this wisdom in 4 points. 1. All life arises in and is an expression of the non-dual infinite life that's called by many names: ultimate reality, God, Tao, Mother, Allah, Yahweh, Dharmakaya, Brahman, and Great Spirit, among others. 2. We contain 2 ways of knowing the world: a greater knowing called Atman, soul, self, spirit, mind, etc., that intuitively knows each finite life as a unique manifestation of infinite life, and a lesser knowing called self, ego, ahem, kibber, etc., that mistakes uniqueness for separateness and imagines itself apart from, rather than a part of infinite life. 3. Awakening the greater self and knowing the interconnectedness of all life in the singular life carries with it a universal ethic, calling the awakened to cultivate compassion and justice toward all beings. 4. Awakening your greater self and living this ethic is the highest goal you can set for yourself. Perennial wisdom is a global spirituality rather than a global religion. With a deep respect for different religions, the One River Foundation sees the common thread of wisdom that is highlighted within each faith tradition, and it is this central wisdom that they see as providing the foundation for a new spiritually rich civilization. Today we're privileged to hear about this perennial wisdom from the Rabbi himself. Rabbi Rami speaks of the challenges of being the only vegetarian or vegan in a family or in a relationship. He says that communication is key.
How do you practice vegetarianism if your parents don't, if you're a kid and your parents don't, or if you're married to someone who doesn't? So, you really have to be able to sit down and have a conversation. You can't make your parents do it. That wouldn't be fair. It'd be nice, but that wouldn't be fair. You can't make your spouse or your partner do it. But you can simply say, this is now what I have to do. You have to have a conversation. And if you're coming from the right place, this place of love for the animal, then the other person, my experience, the other person will simply say, okay, well, work it out. It can be a challenge, but I think it's the attitude that you take when you make that decision and then try to articulate the decision. I would say that Judaism really does advocate a vegetarian diet. A vegan diet, really. If you look at the book of Genesis, the original diet that was set out for humankind, it did not include meat.
Excerpts from Genesis 1 from the Old Testament Bible. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so.
According to Jewish tradition, after the flood, nothing was growing. The only thing they could do was eat animals, so they switched and they ate meat. And then they put limits on what animals they could eat. I don't take the flood story literally. I think it's a metaphor, it's a parable, but it doesn't explain why people eat meat. So within Judaism, there is this, I think, growing sense of that early diet. If you're trying to keep kosher, so kosher means fit for human consumption. It refers not just to food, but to everything. Basically, a one-sentence definition of kosher is elevating all of your consuming to the highest ethical and environmental values you can muster. So if you're trying to keep kosher, trying to live, to consume in this ethical way, then most people will find it much easier to say, well, I won't eat meat. Kosher is about your relationship, through your consuming, your relationship with everything. I think the most important thing is we need fewer cows, so we don't raise them for meat. But my real concern is why torture these animals? Why raise them only to kill them? If you're vegan, you don't eat dairy either. So I think that the deeper meaning for me is less environmental, as important as that is, and more this consciousness raising, this sense of compassion for all living things.
Another quote from the Old Testament, Ecclesiastes 3:19-21 says, "For that which befalls the sons of men befalls animals, even one thing befalls them. As the one dies, so dies the other. Yes, they all have one breath, so that man has no preeminence above an animal, for all is vanity. All go to one place, all are of the dust. Who knows the spirit of men, whether it goes upward, and the spirit of the animal, whether it goes downward to the earth?" And from the book of Psalms 145, verse 9, "The Lord is good to all, and his mercy is over all that he has made."
Consciousness raising is what it's all about, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. I think that humanity is following a spiral of development, meaning that we go in a circle. So sometimes we revisit the same problems over and over again. But I also see it as a spiral. So it's the same problems being dealt with at a higher level, higher level, higher level. And eventually we'll maybe find new problems and won't be dealing with the same things. But I do think that as a species, I think the universe itself is actually moving to higher levels of consciousness. Humans being part of that evolution. As a species, I think we are moving to higher levels of consciousness. And to me, because I live a very traditional life, I find that the traditions of Judaism flow naturally out of the mystical side. And again, they're just second nature. I mean, I grew up with them, but they're second nature to me. So the consciousness is the driving factor for all of it, I think.
Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head, and present you with a glorious crown. The word Torah can mean different things in different contexts. In its most limited sense, Torah refers to the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. But the word Torah can also be used to refer to the entire Jewish Bible, the body of Scripture known to non-Jews as the Old Testament, and to Jews as the Tanakh, or written Torah, or in its broadest sense, to the whole body of Jewish law and teachings. We are thankful to the respectful Rabbi Rami Shapiro for giving us the honor of making this interview with him. May the brighter state of our world be even sooner here, as Rabbi Rami and we are believing in it.
For more information on the One River Foundation, please visit oneriverfoundation.org.
Charitable viewers, thank you for your presence today on our program entitled
4 Basic Principles of a Godly Lifestyle, interview with Rabbi Rami Shapiro,
Part 2 of 2.
on Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is
Moloti Drakensberg Park, mountain splendor of southern Africa.
here on Supreme Master Television.
May your heart and whole being be always open to receive the blessings from our essential oneness.
For more details, please visit suprememastertv.com/WOW.